Let me create another package, name it Retrofit, and the first thing is I'll be creating a Retrofit API class. Now our movies API can be a reference to this interface, not class. So I can say movies API because this is our contract, right? So we can do like this, and all the stuff we can override. Now our retrofit can provide us a list of a movies object. For that we need to tell retrofit that it's a get call that you have to make to this endpoint, and we don't need to tell the full endpoint to the retrofit guy because we'll be providing a base URL in the builder. So the second thing I'll be needing is a class that is retrofit instance, and it will have val builder equals to retrofit dot builder dot base URL. So what I was talking to you is that we can provide the base URL here like this, so that we don't have to provide this URL again and again. And lastly, I want to call dot build method. Now we need an instance here, so I'll say well service, and this will be a builder dot create, and what type of service we need is the retrofit API. So this is some pretty standard stuff. We want it private, right? We don't want our builder to be exposed. Now we have a complete implementation of how to fetch the data from the API using retrofit, because it returns a retrofit API which is a movies API. So we can replace our manual implementation with retrofit. Retrofit instance dot retrofit instance dot we want it to be singleton, right? We don't want to create multiple instances of retrofit, right? So we want it to be singleton so that we can have just one instance. Now you see that all of our code that was there doesn't need to be changed. We have provided a completely different implementation by just changing one line of code. You want to see that in action? Let's run it. Okay, I think it crashed. Let's see why. Unable to create converter for class movies. Okay, so the last step is our retrofit does not know how to parse the objects. So we need to add a converter here, dot add converter factory, that is GSONConverterFactory. We need GSONConverterFactory. Okay, here we go. So we need this guy. Implementation. Yeah, that's it. Gson GSONConverterFactory. Okay, finally, and create. So now let's run this. Let's see our code in action. it works. So now we are fetching the data with retrofit, and we can completely dump this class that was manual parsing implementation, right? Because we are not using it anywhere, right? So all this line of code has been changed to Retrofit API, its instance, and let me delete this guy, and we have everything in place. The last thing we will be needing is the image, right? So let's pull an image as well. So for that we need an image view, and we need to make some changes. So let's put in an image view here, anything, and let's do this, let's do that. Okay, let's align it here. Okay, let's give it some size, that is image view, give it width like 200 dp to 400 dp. I'm just doing that so that it does not get out of my emulator screen, because this text will, I mean, we are just doing it for the sake of loading an image. So I'll show you how to load an image. I'll be using Glide for that. So Glide, we have a library that is called Glide. I mean, there are lots of libraries, but you can use anyone. Glide allows you to load an image pretty fairly, as you can see here. This is how the image will get loaded, by just one line of code. And let me put in Glide here, sync it. Let's go back to our main activity.